your eyes, take a mental ride. Classrooms in Paris, libraries in Milan. Where do you want to stand when the day dawns? Is it Dublin's green or Barcelona's sun? Pick your place, the journey's begun. The study abroad portal, yeah. Dreaming, living anywhere. The study abroad portal, yeah. Life's changing, skies are fair.
Great. Welcome everybody to this webinar that you join in to hear more about the programs from UCLL in Leuven, Belgium. So as the title suggests, your 2026 chance. And you can hear about the affordable bachelor studies in Belgium as mentioned. So we're going to hear about these programs in just a couple of minutes. My name is Luc Mulling. I'm the moderator of today. Just to mention to you, briefly some options that we have in the session. So first of all, you can tell us where you're logging in from. You can do that through the chat. That's where you can interact with us. But we also have more options. So you can also write your questions, of course, at any time through the panel next to it, questions. And that's where we'll be answering those questions at the end of the session. Also, I'll be opening up a couple of polling questions just to get to know you a little bit better. For example, I'm going to open one right now. What is the most important to you in selecting a university program? So let us know, and I thank you for your feedback. And last but not least, we have a little fun button as well. At the bottom of the screen, you see a button called React. If you click on that, it will allow you to react to the presentation, exactly, just to make it a little bit more interactive, and also for the presenters to feel there's actually somebody listening to them. So without further ado, let's go over to the presenters. We'll start with Federica, and she will introduce herself, and then later the rest of the team. So good luck.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Thank you, Luke, for the introduction. So my name is Federica. I'm the Student Journey Officer at UCLL. So that means that I support international students throughout their journey at UCLL. We have a lot of things to cover during today's webinar. So we will talk about Belgium and Leuven at first. Then I'll share some information about our programs and why studying at UCLL is special and different. And then, of course, we also cover some information about student life here in Leuven, and very briefly also mention career opportunities after your studies. But today I'm not here alone. There's going to be more people that will help me throughout this journey. We don't have the time to introduce them right now, but I will quickly show you. So there's going to be my colleague Anna from the admission office, and then we have 4 student ambassadors. We have Julia from the IBM program, and then we have Matthias and Alvise from the BME program, and finally Kitty from the ACS program. But you will hear more from them very, very soon. Okay, so let's start talking about Belgium. So when you think about Belgium, for sure, you think about beer, Belgian beer, chocolate, probably Lotus cookies and fries. And of course, those are called Belgian fries, not French fries. That's a very important thing for us. So remember to call them the right way. But there are also other things that are from Belgium that maybe you didn't know. For example, both the Smurfs and Tintin are very popular Belgian comics. And then I also didn't know that Audrey Hepburn was actually born in Brussels. I didn't know that at all. And we also have Adolf Sax. He's the guy that invented the saxophone. So it's an important person, Belgian person. And the Tomorrowland Festival, one of the biggest electronic dance music festival in the world that takes place in Belgium every summer. So these are very cool things about Belgium that maybe you didn't know. Belgium is also known as the Europe's hidden gem for study and career opportunities, and there are many reasons why people say so. First of all, Belgium is an affordable destination, but it also offers high-quality education. And throughout their studies, students in Belgium can also get a student job, so study during their studies, and after their graduation, there's the possibility the possibility to get a third year visa. So this will give them the opportunity to stay in Belgium and look for a job in Belgium if they want to. And then, of course, Brussels is the capital of the European Union. So it's a central hub for political and economic activity. So it's very easy to find English jobs in international companies here. And then Leuven, the city where UCLL is located. Leuven is a real true student city because it's at the same time very cozy, safe, clean, and green, but it also offers a lot of international vibes. There are more than 190 nationalities represented here, so it gives a lot of international and cosmopolitan vibes. So it's a very nice to have both of the sides. And of course, we are not the only ones saying this, but there are also real facts that prove how great Leuven is as a student destination. For example, it ranked 33rd best student city in the world. And then in 2020, it was the European capital of innovation. And in 2030, it will be the European capital of culture. So you can see how cool that is. Before I start sharing information about details about our programs, I wanted to quickly highlight the difference between a research university and a university of applied sciences, because UCLL is a university of applied sciences. So while research universities focus more on academic research or like theoretical study and often prepare students for master's and PhD programs, UCLL focuses more on practical and career opportunities. So this means that the goal for us at UCLL is to prepare students directly for the job market. But of course, if you want to continue studying after getting a degree with us, you also have that opportunity. But we will talk more about that later on. Okay, so now that this is clear, we can start sharing more information about our programs. And I'll start with the Bachelor in Applied Computer Science. So this is a 3 years full-time program on campus in Leuven, which is taught entirely in English. And through this program, students start with the foundations of IT and programming in the first year. And then starting from the second year, later on, they can specialize in different areas, such as software development, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, or cloud technologies. And one key strength of this program is the hands-on learning. So starting from the very first semester of the first year, students can actually gain hands-on experience and they can collaborate with companies, they can take part to projects, and they can solve real-life scenarios and cases and get feedbacks from professionals from the industry and from different companies around Belgium. And then, of course, at the very end of the semester, so the last semester of the third year, students have the opportunity to undertake an internship. And we had many cases in the past where our students, after their internship, actually found a job in the same company. So right after their graduation, they started working for the same company they were interning for. So it's a great opportunity to boost your career right after graduation. And another very important characteristic and aspect of our program is the international side of it. So throughout your study, you will have a chance to undertake internships abroad if you wanted to, but there are also options for double degrees, international weeks, exchange semesters. So you see how international it really is. We don't really have the time to go through the details of the curriculum and the elective tracks because we have a lot of things to cover, but I can give you some time to maybe take a quick photo or take a screenshot of these 2 slides. But at the same time, this webinar will be recorded and it will be available in our website. So you will have a chance to go through this recording afterwards. And also all of this information is already available in our website in the program specific section of the website. So it will be very easy for you to find all the information you need to make a choice. So now I would like for our student ambassador, Kitty, to just quickly tell us what surprised you more about the program, and how was your experience so far in BCS?
Yeah, thank you, Federica. Hi, everyone. So what I would like to say is that, as she already mentioned, it's an applied computer science program, which is much better than, for me, it's better than a research program, because you can see every time for what are you studying, and somehow it motivates you to keep going on. You already have a lot of lab sessions, and not just that, in your second year you already work with some companies making a website project maybe, or an application, which is very important, because in this way you can see for what you are studying and what is in the future coming for you. So that was a very good perspective of the program. And also what impressed me most is that compared to other experiences, the university was very involved from the beginning for your recommendation as an international student, and they help you in every way needed possible, even for the student jobs if they had any information about that. And even with the um, housing part. So it is very important for a new person coming in a foreign country to have the support, because it's very hard if you don't know a lot about the culture and everything.
Okay, thank you, Kit. It's very nice to hear positive feedback from you. I'm very glad. And okay, now it's time to move on to our second English dot program, which is the Bachelor in International Business Management and Marketing. So the first thing that is very important to highlight is that we actually have two different tracks for this program. We have the track in Belgium that focuses in Leuven at UCLL. So it's a 3 years program here in Belgium, in Leuven. But we also have the track across Europe, which will give you the opportunity to study in a different country, a different location every year. So 3 different countries in total. But we'll start with the track in Belgium. So again, this is a full-time 3 years program entirely taught in English. And again, another important feature and characteristic of this program is the practical experience. So this program includes practical learning, international weeks, project, and internship, and it really helps students gain real-world experience while studying. And this is also possible because you will learn from lecturers that have professional industry experience. And you will also be surrounded by peers that comes from all over the world. So again, the internationalization side of our programs is coming back. And when it comes to content, the program combines business knowledge and marketing skills. So you can see here how 1/3 of the courses focus on business fundamentals, so such as economics, management skills, law, ICT ethics, but also languages. And then 2/3 focus on marketing, and these will include digital marketing, branding, entrepreneurship, and new trends also like AI in marketing. And again, we can't stress this enough. Throughout your studies here through this program, you will gain practical experience through project weeks, booster weeks, and internships. So you will really work on real challenges and develop skills that companies really value, and skills that companies are really looking for in new people to hire. So now, again, I would like to ask Julia, which is our student ambassador for this program, IBM program, to give us a quick feedback about how her studies have been so far here with us.
Okay, so hello everyone. So far it's really nice. I'm in a third year, and actually in the second semester I have my internship, and I'm doing actually in my university. And it's really nice environment for, I would say, students, because as Federica mentioned, that it's a lot of international people. Even if you like feel alone, because I did, I think those international people creating their own like family, because we are in a new country, new environment. We don't know anything, but we rely on each other.
Okay, this is very nice to hear. Thank you for sharing this with us. So now we can move on to the other track of the IBM program, which will be the track across Europe. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a a program, a track that gives students the possibility to study in a different country every year. So you can see here an overview of the different partners that we have, the different options that you can choose from. Actually, you can see here in year one, we also have Colombia. So actually this track could be also renamed to track around the world. It's not only Europe, but it's expanding. We're getting bigger and bigger. And then the second year is always in Leuven. So students during their second year, they all come here to Belgium and they study here with us at UCLL. And those are the options for the third year. So you can see we have a lot of partners and a lot of different possibilities. So when students come here to UCLL during the second year, they actually always combine management and marketing courses with a business practice semester with an internship. So this internship during the second semester of the second year can be completed either in Belgium or abroad. So this is like adding an additional layer of internationalization to this program. So it's truly the most international program that you can get. And again, like just the other two programs that I just explained to you, an important aspect of BME is the hands-on teaching and the personal coaching and the real life experience that you can get while studying with us. This is actually a double degree program. So you will not only get one degree, but two degrees. So one will be from UCLL. So it will be a bachelor degree in international business management and marketing. And then the second degree it will be from the third year partner university. So depending on which university you will decide to spend your final year of this program, you will get a different degree. That could be, as you can see here, for example, a bachelor degree in marketing or marketing with digital, international business management, or international business studies. So again, there are different options. Okay, before going to application admission, we also have here Alvise and Matthias. So there are two BME students, and I wanted to ask them, first of all, to tell us where they studied last year. So right now, you're a second year student, so you're here in Leuven with us, but we wanted to know where you studied last year, where you're planning to go next year, and also to give us a feedback of your experience so far.
Hello. Yes, can you hear me? All good?
All good, yes. Yeah.
Yes. Last year I was studying in Finland, in Helsinki, at Laurea University of Applied Sciences, and it was an amazing experience. Next year, I believe that I'm going to go to the UK, almost guaranteed, at Worcester. You can see it among the list of the partner universities. And I would say it's been an amazing experience. Maybe Matthias wants to chime in.
Yes, so I was last year in Barcelona for UAB. So now I'm in Leuven, and for the third year, I'm probably going to go to Dublin, Ireland. So yeah, same as Elvisa. It's really interesting, the international aspect of it, but yeah, switching around a lot.
Yes, you indeed are moving around a lot. Okay, nice. So now it's time for our colleague from admission, Anna, to tell us more about admission and application procedures and all the details you need to know if you were to apply and want to join us at UCLL.
Thank you, Federica. Hello, everyone. My name is Anne. I'm from the admissions office, and I'm just going to take you through the process, tell you a little bit more about it. But of course, we have a website where you can find everything that you need to know. And if not, then you can always contact us. So first of all, obviously, we have application requirements. There are a number of degrees, diplomas listed here. We start with the international schools. You have IB schools or other international schools where we require, obviously, for instance, an IB degree or an EB degree. Some countries or some schools, they follow the British curriculum, the American curriculum. Here you find what our specific requirements are. when you follow this British curriculum, American curriculum. And then, of course, next to these more transnational degrees, you find national diplomas as well. So when you study in your own country, you don't study in the British curriculum, American curriculum, then you have your own national curriculum. And then on our website, you will find a list of countries. It doesn't cover the whole world, but it covers most countries that we receive applications from. If you don't find your country, then at least you would need, with your diploma that you earned, you would need to have access to higher education in your country. This is the very least requirement. English language proficiency, if you don't study in a native speaking country, then we require an English language test, and you'll find the requirements or the scores that we require here on this slide. So IELTS is overall 6.5, TOEFL 79, which was the old scoring system. With the new one, it will be 4.5. For the BME program, there is an exception. It's a little bit lower. It's IELTS 6.0 or TOEFL 4.0. On our website, you also find a step-by-step application procedure. And of course, there's a small cost to pay when you apply, which is €50, and you can pay it online by credit card or any way you want. Okay, some few words about tuition fee and blocked account. Tuition fee, it's a familiar concept. Blocked account, we will explain in a minute. So the tuition fee for European students, EEA, it stands for European Economic Area. Non-EEA would be all the students or citizens who do not have EEA citizenship. So EA students, they pay a standard amount, which is €1,181 per academic year. The non-EA students who need a study visa to study in Belgium, so who have the status as student, they will pay €8,600 per academic year. For the European track in business management, obviously there are various tuition fee rates because you study in 3 different universities, and so each university determines their own tuition fee rates. Okay, so you can have a look on the website, and then you can figure out which is most expensive or more expensive, which is more affordable university. Second concept, blocked account, is only apply to non-EA students. And this is part of your visa application. So if you want to apply for a visa to come and study in Belgium, first of all, you would need your admission letter, obviously. But our immigration office also requires that you are able to prove your financial means during that academic year. And you're going to study in Belgium. And so there are 2 options. And one of the 2 options is the blocked account, which means that you transfer €13,300 into our UCLL account. We'll take good care of your money there. And when you have transferred that money, we will issue a letter of financial guarantee, which you can take to the embassy, which you can attach to your visa application. And so then the immigration office here in Belgium is sure that you can provide for all the expenses that you have here in Belgium during the academic year. And when you're here, when you're registered as a student, you open up a bank account, and then we transfer this money back into your account month after month. So right now with this amount, the monthly amount that we transfer back is €1,100. There's €100 administrative fee, which you won't get back, obviously. Maybe some questions that may pop up. So one important one is, do you have to pay for the blocked account every year? Yes, you can if you choose to use the blocked account. The other option, as I mentioned, blocked account is one of two options. The other option would be to find a sponsor. Which is a little bit more risky. You don't have to pay anything up front, but you have to make sure that your sponsor meets all the requirements for sponsorship. And you can find it on our website as well. If you go to our study visa page, then you will find the link there to our immigration office where everything is explained. Now, of course, for non-EA students, it happens that a visa is rejected for many reasons, or plans have changed. Will I get a refund of the tuition fee and a blocked account? Yes, certainly, if you want. So if you say, okay, I'm not going to study at UCLL anymore, we refund your tuition fee and your blocked account minus the 100 euro administrative fee that you pay. Or if you say, I'm not able to come this year, but I can come next year, then you have the choice of leaving the money in our account or having it refunded. So that is your choice, and when it comes up, we'll give you both these options. Deadlines, very important. So for non-European students or non-EA students, the deadline is May 1st. Now, we recommend to make sure that your application is complete by 1st of April. If for some reason we provide feedback and we say, okay, there's still something missing, then you still have time to add that to your application before the really final deadline. So I would say for the non-EA students or applicants, shoot for 1st of April, and then you're sure that by 1st of May, everything should be fine. Another deadline is for the BME student, the track in Europe. It's 15th of June, and this has to do with the partnerships that we have with other universities. They have limited options, of course, so limited spaces, which is not the case if you choose the track in Belgium. So there the deadline is 15th of June. And then for European students or non-European students who already have a residence permit in Belgium, the deadline would be August 31st. Very important question that always comes up during webinars or wherever we have info sessions. If you're a non-EA student and your school grades have not come in yet, or they will come in after the deadline, 1st of May, no worries. What you need to do is you will need to provide a statement by the school that the school formally declares which degree you will obtain and also your predicted grades. And then we can issue a letter of conditional admission. Obviously, when you have your degree, when you have earned your degree, then you will have to send it in, obviously, otherwise we cannot register you. Now, it's also possible that your visa is delayed. So sometimes in some countries it takes a few months, in other countries only a few weeks. It's very difficult to predict. The question is, can you still come after the start of the academic year? So the academic year starts in the 30th week of September. And yes, you can, but of course you cannot arrive in late November, because then you lose, you have not had all these courses from September through November. But yes, you can still come. And what we advise at the admissions office is that you contact us and let us know when you think you will be arriving, or say, okay, I'm waiting for my visa, it's not come in yet. When it has come in, then you can let us know, and then we will decide in collaboration with the program, with the study program, whether it's still possible. Worst case scenario is that you can come in February for the second semester. That you can still come, but you will not be able to enroll in classes because it's too late in the semester. But the main thing is that you should contact us and get in touch with the admissions office, and so we'll work something out. Okay, now the admission flow in a nutshell. So you apply online through a digital platform. You find the link on our website. You pay €50. You upload all the documents. You submit your application, and then we check your qualifications. Best case scenario, your application is approved, and then we will either issue, no, in this case for the bachelor's programs, we will issue a payment invitation to pay the tuition fee for year one. The deadline is 15th of May, and it's a date that we choose also because you need time to prepare your visa. When the tuition fee has been paid, we will issue the admission letter. When you want a blocked account, you pay for the blocked account, we will also issue that financial guarantee letter. And with these two letters, as I explained before, you're ready to apply for your student visa. If you have any questions, there are two options. Either you can send a mail to us, admissions@ucll.be, but the better option would be to just ask questions while you're in your application. So you can always log in, log out of your application at any time. And there is a messaging tool in that application. You will see on the homepage of your application, you will see a contact button. And that's actually the best way to communicate with the admissions office. This was for the non-EA students. So there are a couple of things that are different for non-EA students and EA students. So EA students, they also apply in the same way, also pay €50. We check the qualifications. They will receive an admission letter if everything is fine. The difference is that EA students, they will have to pay their tuition fee after their student registration in September, so not before arrival. So this is the main difference, actually. And obviously, they don't need a blocked account either. Again, it's the same contact information through email or through the contact button in the application. And I think over to you, Federica. Thank you.
Thank you so much. These are indeed very, very crucial information to know. So thank you for sharing. And now let's go on to the next part of our webinar, which is the cost of living. This is, of course, a very important aspect when making a decision about your future studies, knowing how much money you will spend, how life in your future study destination will look like. So, of course, housing is usually the biggest monthly cost for students, but as you can see here, there are different options based on your preferences and on your budget. You can always find a place that is good for you to live in and be comfortable in. Usually our UCLL students use the KU Leuven housing platform. KU Leuven is our partner institution, and they have a lot of services, and they offer a lot of advices and webinars and information about finding a place where to live. So you can use those QR codes here to get into access their website and see where the upcoming webinars are happening. So all the information will be there. Something that we will really like to stress is that it's very important to start searching for accommodation early. So actually starting from this month, if you're planning to start your studies with us in September, and it's crucial that you secure accommodation before arriving. And it's also important to be cautious of scams on social media and other websites. But again, KU Leuven provides a lot of information also on how to avoid internet fraud. So everything, you will be covered if you scan those QR codes. And there are also other kind of costs like food and groceries, but usually students spend around 200 to 350 euros per month, especially if they decide to cook at home. But it's also possible to eat out. There's a lot of restaurants, coffee shops that have a lot of discounts for students. And of course, there are also a lot of supermarkets and with different kind of discounts. So students really have a lot of advantages when it comes to buying groceries and eating out. Other costs could be transport, sports, and culture. But again, students are very lucky because they can get discounted prices for all of these kind of entertainment. So, for example, you can get a bus pass for 30 euros per year. You can rent a bike for 30 or 60 euros per year, and you can get a sports car for 37 euros and also a culture card for 25 euros. And this will give you access to monthly events for free, cinema discounts, and much more. And I didn't mention the sport card give you access to facilities and also group sessions. So you have a big list of sports that you can also try out for the first time for a very, very cheap price. So it's actually very, very nice. And of course, student life, because it's not only about studying and being classes and being at campus, but it's also your future will also be about exploring Leuven, exploring Belgium, and get to see a lot of new things. Leuven is a very inclusive city. It has a lot to offer. And actually, since we're running out of time, I maybe would like for our students, maybe starting with Julia, you can tell us very quickly like your favorite spot in Leuven while I go through the slides. So there are a lot of places. You could just say the name of your favorite spots here.
My favorite spot is Arenberg Park.
Arenberg Park. Yeah, it's a very nice one. What about you, Olvise? Or maybe you can tell us about Belgium, because I know you travel a lot. So maybe your favorite place is even not in Leuven, but in Belgium or even outside of Belgium.
Well, Belgium is absolutely amazing. I was just last week in a city called Dinant in the south of Belgium, which is it's almost like a fairy tale village. You need to see it for yourself. Even images on Google don't really give the true idea, but you have to be there for yourself. It truly feels like being in a magical place. Another good place is Bourg in Flanders, not too distant from Leuven.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very nice place. Okay, what about Matthias and Kitty? Very quickly, just say the name of your favorite place while I go through the slides.
I would say Ghent. It's a very nice place I have visited, and it's very worth it to if you want to take a break in the weekends. And it's very cheap to get there with the train because you also have advantages for the train as a student.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you can see here, there's a lot of favorite spots for our students, but you will find out yourself because there's a lot to see and Leuven has a lot to offer. I wanted to quickly talk about student jobs because, of course, you're going to spend some money, but there are also ways to get some money back. So that's a good news. And students are allowed to work and get student jobs. And I will not bore you with all the details, but again, you can scan the QR code and get all the information and details about like hours limitation and how everything works if you were to want to have a job here while studying. And Kitty, I know that you have a student job, so maybe you can share very, very quickly how your experience was and how are you managing your studying with your working with your student job.
So also in this slide, it's mentioned that you have like a maximum hours that you can work every year, and due to this, the working hours might not exceed around 18 or 20 hours per week. And of course, during the break, you might leave, so then you would also save some hours. But mostly I'm working in the weekends, like half of shifts, and in this way it's very easy to get along like during the week with the studies, and even in the weekend you still have some time and of course time for yourself, because the most important for the studies is if you attend the classes and take a very good attention to them, you can go home mostly with all the lecture studied, and in this way you can just a little bit go through the theory and everything at home, so you don't need very much time for that. And most of my classmates as well, they are working even though they have, for example, their parents here, or they are have a very good background with what comes down to the money and everything. But most of us are working, and it's very easy to get, especially in Leuven, to work as a student.
Yeah, indeed. I know most of you actually are working, and it was also very easy to find a student job. So that's another nice aspect. Okay, now very briefly, after graduation opportunities. So there are different pathways that you can decide to take on after getting a degree with us. So first of all, you could decide to start your career right away, because you will have a lot of hands-on experience. So you will actually be able to just start your career, boost your career right away. But if you were to decide to continue your studying, you could undertake BANABA, which stands for Advanced Bachelor. And after this Advanced Bachelor, you could then start your career, or then you could also decide to undertake a master degree. And then there's also another option that would be a bridging program or preparatory program. And those are programs that are offered by research university. So you could start this 1 year long bridging program and then decide to go on with a master through this university that offer the bridging program. So you can see, and then of course afterwards launch your career and start working. So you can see there are a lot of options for you. So you will have time to think about it, of course, but it's good to know that you will decide with time, and there are a lot of good things for you as waiting for you in the future. We actually had some testimonials from our alumni, but we really don't have the time to go through all the details. So again, I think a good idea would be for me to slowly go through the slides. So then when you watch the recording back, you can actually read all the details and see what our alumni are doing right now. But for example, you can see here Lotte. She's right now undertaking a master in communication sciences at KU Leuven. So this is an example of a student that decided to keep studying after getting a degree with us. But then, of course, we also have, for example, Nezar, which is a freelancer at the moment. We have Mois, that is a team leader at Roru, which is a Japanese street food restaurant here in Leuven. We have Evelina, which is a visual merchandiser in training at Bershka. And Hang, for example, she's right now working at the Center of European Policy Studies as an event assistant. Doruk is a senior digital marketing analyst at Bridgestone. And Hyore is a junior project manager at Social Drum. So you can see how diverse actually our alumni community is. And of course, we also have a lot of alumni that actually went abroad and started their career abroad, not in Belgium. So yeah, you can see how diverse it is. Now, before we start the Q&A session, I wanted to mention the upcoming webinars that we have planned. You can scan the QR code that will lead you to our website, and you will find a form, a Keep Me Informed form. So if you fill that out, you will get a notification by email every time a new webinar is about to happen. So you just be sure that you know everything that is going on. For example, we have a webinar, specific BME webinar happening very soon in 5 days. And then there's going to be 2 housing webinars. Those are very important ones. One on April 2nd and one on May 19th, and actually a third one in June 19th. So there's a lot of information about housing that you can get from these webinars. And then we have another BME webinar on April 28th, and a Q&A session for all our programs in June. We still don't have the exact date, but it will happen in June. Okay, so you can scan the QR code if you haven't done so yet. And then, of course, you're also always welcome to contact our team. So you can contact Nadia, our international student recruiter, for all questions regarding pre-application stage. And then you can contact our colleagues from admission office for questions about application. So everything, all doubts and details that you want to know about actually applying to UCLL. And then you can contact me, the student journey officer, for question after admission. So once you're admitted to UCLL and you have questions about moving here or whatever doubts, you can always contact me for that. And we also wanted to ask you to follow our Instagram pages. So we have different Instagram accounts for each program. So we have one for BCS, one for BME Track in Belgium, Track Across Europe, and one for BBM Track in Belgium. And then, of course, we also have the Insignia Instagram page, which is Insignia is the International Student Association at UCLL. And we're organizing a lot of events and activities for our students. So if you follow the page, you can already start, have a look of what's going on and how your life in Leuven will be like. Okay, I think we're like exactly on time. And the Q&A session will start now. And Luke will be reading your questions out loud.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you, Federica, and all of you already for your insights and your valuable information. We're going to the Q&A. So that's indeed, I'll read out the questions. I just want to highlight that, first of all, for the people that watch the recording, you can all participate in all the interactive options as well. So that means you can also answer the polls that we're showing on the screen. And for those who did it, thank you already. And for those who didn't, thanks for still letting us know your feedback. And also for people watching the recording, you can actually also write your questions. So we can of course not answer them live right now, but we can send them through to the staff of UCLL later, so they can come back to you probably by email. All right, let's go and dig into some of the questions. I think some of the questions about scholarships were answered. So I'm going to skip that because we did answer that part. Now, Mohammed was asking about growing their talent and leadership skills and the type of support. I don't know if there is something that can be said specifically about that, supporting their talent and leadership skills.
I think maybe our student can give they could be the right people to give an answer about this because you experienced that yourself. I don't know from which program specifically this question was for, but maybe we can have Julia for BBM and Katie for BCS to briefly talk about it.
I will start for ACS. For example, in the second year, you have a project where you will work with your seniors, and afterwards in the third year, you will take their place where you have to develop as a small company. You have to develop an application for a bigger company, and everyone has their own role. For example, product owner, we have team coach, we have also the scrum master who is taking part in the organization of the events that are happening. So you will also learn as an ACS student also the business and IT part, where you will learn how to work in a company and how you can also start your own company after you finish your bachelor degree.
Okay, so for EBM program, in the first year we have projects called Booster Practice, which is a weekly project, and usually it's 2 per semester at the beginning and at the end. And in the second year, you have 2 weeks of sustainability project that you work on a specific case with Dutch students from the same program. The same program, because they have management in Dutch and we have in English, so then we are combined in a common project, and then in the third year you have internship in a second semester.
Okay, thank you for those answers. I hope that answered the question, Mohammed, or anyone else. Otherwise, let us know. There's a question from Joanna. I just want to highlight it. It's about the profile and the requirements about IELTS, and if the BBA program was meeting the requirements and the expected tests for the international applicants. I just want to highlight there was an answer given in the chat. In the question itself with the links. So just check that out if you want to know. I'm going to put also the link on the screen now. So the link here that I actually dropped in earlier will bring you directly to the application page, and there you can find the requirements. And at your own pace, check it out after the webinar. Next question, let's see, is the same goes actually for the question about the OSSD diploma for Canada. So also go check that out. And also for the question from Mohammed, looking for the admission, and the son is from Turkey, but living in France, if you could join as EU. So just to clarify, so the question was given by Anna, I think. If applicants hold a passport of the EEA countries, they are considered EEA citizens, but the residentship of the country is not considered EU.
Yes, and I want to add, look, there's a common
Yeah.
mistake that if you hold a residentship as a non-EEA person in a EEA country, it's a common mistake that you think that you also are considered European, which sadly it's not. So you really have to have a passport, an EEA passport, in order to be considered EU. And I'm sure that involves it's a question that involves the tuition fee rates, because that's important to know.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Anna, for adding that. Question from Joanna, if you could share more about the on-campus facilities for a Muslim community, such as the prayer spaces or availability of halal dining options in the residence. Can you say something about that?
Again, I think maybe our students can tell us more.
I mean, as far as I know, but it's not maybe true. As far as I know, we have some spaces where you can also spend your time, even not just for praying, but we have separate rooms where you can also book a private moment if you need. And what comes down to the food, we have different type of foods at the cafeteria, and because you would be surprised that most of my classmates are more Muslims than other type of religions. So the university is really taking care of that, because we know that the majority they are different religions from us. So yeah, I think you could find easily adaptabilities for your needs.
Yeah, I can indeed confirm there's also new projects, new ideas that they're working on within the campus to have more spaces, and also within the canteen, the restaurant. Compared to last year already, there were a lot of new changes. It has improved a lot. There are new options. So yeah, we're really putting a lot of thoughts on this. And also outside of the campus, I think Leuven is like the perfect place, because again, I mentioned a lot of inclusivity when it comes to food and restaurants and place where to eat and gather. So it's truly the perfect place for person of every religion in every country. So yeah, this is a very important thing to know.
Okay, great, thank you. And we go to our next question. Mohammed was asking about sports clubs. What sports clubs do you have?
KU Leuven offers so many options, like different sports that I'd never heard about. Really, like even like me, I found out about new sports that I never actually experienced. So, who amongst our ambassadors is like big on sports and have experiences with sports? Maybe Alvise, I think.
I mostly work out at home. I haven't had much time, but I will say there are public places in Leuven. There are public outdoor gyms. There is one. Well, it's more on the outside. If you know, Leuven is shaped like a circle. It's more on the outer side, but there are facilities and there are plenty of gyms in Central Leuven.
As far as I know, there are also like we have the other UCLL campus, which is for sciences, I think, and then there you can book some moments when you can play with your classmates basketball, because I know on the group chat we talked about it, and a few times they booked like places, and not just for basketball, for different kinds of sports, if you have like the sport club card.
Yeah, I think it's very nice indeed, because with the very cheap sport card that I mentioned earlier, you can both book facilities indoor, outdoor, and then also join group sessions. I think it's another very good offer, because you can try a different sport, a different session every day, basically. Dances, badminton, tai chi, karate, yoga, like there's really a lot going on. And we also organize sport-related events with our International Student Association. So we have students that regularly meet up for soccer practice and soccer matches between the two programs. So they have like friendly competitions and matches. And biking is another big one. Like you don't need a sport car to actually bike around here in Leuven, because the bike culture is so big and there are so many pathways. Even outside of the city, you can go basically all around Belgium with your bike. So yeah, it will for sure be a very sporty experience if you want to, and if you want sport to be involved in your life.
Great, good to hear. And thanks for that. We had another question about the deadline for non-EU. When was that?
Deadline for non-EU is maybe, yes, we can go to that slide maybe. It's recommended 1st of April, but final deadline is 1st of May. Yes, I think maybe one more. There you go. Okay. So 1st of May is really the final deadline.
Okay, thank you. I'll leave that on. A question from Ajiren, if I said it right. I'm studying at Polytechnic University of Timisoara. Can I do an exchange?
If Federica would allow me, since I'm also from Romania, I was looking for an exchange semester because I wanted to go home, and because our university, as far as I saw, it has a partnership with this university from Timisoara. It's very easy to do one semester in exchange here at UCLL. And even if it's not that one, and maybe you are from other universities, it's very easy because last year, starting not just for the ACS but also for the BBM program, there were a lot of Erasmus students and exchange students. So it's very easy to do an exchange semester or even a year if you would like.
And if I can add to that, I think the student should, first of all, talk to the international office at his or her university, because they will ultimately decide whether a student can go on an exchange. It may depend on scores or results or whatever. But if we are partners with this university, then that's definitely an option.
Great. Thank you very much. We go to the next question from Joanna. Beyond academics, are there abundant lifestyle amenities like hair and nail salons in walking distance of the main campus? And are they student budget friendly?
As far as I know, at least in Brussels, for example, you can get even €100 like less price to pay if you go for a hair salon. I don't know about the nails one, but you can find one, I think, on every street you walk around, even in Leuven, or if not, Brussels is a very good option.
Yeah, indeed, there are a lot of options. And again, being a student is such a nice thing here in Leuven, because you will just find discounts for everything you want to do. You're going to have cheaper prices. So yeah, it's indeed very nice. And there are a lot of options. I see hair salons, beauty salons, nail salon everywhere I go. So yeah, it's definitely easy to find. And then Brussels could be like a plan B, but Leuven already has a lot to offer. Yeah.
Great. And before I forget, I just want to highlight as well, there's been several links pasted in the chat. So useful for you to check out about sports, for example, from KU Leuven, as indicated, and also the Instagram pages. So thanks, Julia and Anne, for pasting there. So check it out, and you can open those links and watch at your own pace. So the question about partnership has been answered, I see. So thank you. And I think with that, I don't see any further questions, and we are just about on the hour, so we are slowly wrapping up this session. If there's a last quick important question still, we can take it. But otherwise, we will wrap it up. I actually have one question for the audience, as you can grade us as well. Let us know how we did. So, of course, we'd like to get your feedback as well. It's not only one way. We want to hear from you. I'm going to publish a poll over some of our faces, but apologies for that. But thanks. Let us know your grade and how you feel. And of course, if you want to give some constructive feedback, anything that was missing or whatever, then let us know in the chat, because we make these sessions for you in the end, right? So we do want to make sure you get the most out of it. So thanks for doing that. And with that, I think we can slowly wrap up the session. I don't see any further questions. I see thank yous coming in, so that's great, and smileys and all that. So good to see. Thanks, everyone. And last word maybe over to Federica to round off the session.
Yeah, once again, I want to thank everybody for joining today's webinar, and I hope to see many of you in Leuven very soon. Thank you. And thank you for our student ambassador for joining us today.
There. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.